Welcome back to Marriage and Relationships. I'm Masikere, and tonight we are talking about singlehood. And before the break, Mr. Nganga, we were discussing the merits of singlehood. And you are giving us some of the example. Maybe you can continue by telling us.
Yeah, so far we have seen that when you see a single person, please know they are enjoying their life. Number one, because if they are called to singlehood, they like making visits outside, but most of the time they like their space. They like a place where nobody is interfering. And they really enjoy that idea of being alone, having a place, nobody interfering. You put a pen looking left, nobody touches to make it look left. Now, there are people like that where if they put the toothpaste facing one direction, if you change it, they feel frustrated. Those are people who are best single. And then we've just said there are ministries which are best done by people who are single. And if you try to do it as a married person, you will ruin your marriage. In fact, I keep saying it's a pity that in Africa we don't have as many people called who have accepted the call to singlehood. You know, African church is what it is because of many white ladies who came from Europe, came to Africa and never got married. They stayed single. And because of that, they were able to sell themselves fully to the call of God and establish many mission stations. You know, it's important to understand that when God calls you to something to do, you do it better as a single person. Not everything, some certain ministries. My best example is normally Carrie Francis. Carrie Francis was, first of all, led Maseno School, then came to lead the only high school at that point, Alliance High School. And he was there for many years. And because he never got married, he totally gave himself to the boys. And it's like they were his everything. They were his children. He knew where they came from. He knew each boy personally. You talk to the boys who are educated by Carrie Francis, and you hear they are now old people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, and they really are nostalgic about that man. Now, you know what the result was? He never got married, never got children, but no father, quote unquote, had the kind of influence in our country. Are you aware that more than half the first cabinet of Jomo Kenyatta in 1963 were all Carrie Francis boys? And yet there are people who have many wives, many children, who have not had that influence. There's a guy called Okugu Deja with more than 100 children. He doesn't have that influence that Carrie Francis had, although he was actually single. And it will be important to understand if God has called you to singlehood, you enjoy it because actually other people come into your space. But number two, you'll be more productive. You are going to be, if people talk about legacy, you will get a legacy. You know, a lot of people marry, in Africa they marry so they are remembered. The truth is, you can be single and remembered. I'm still talking about Carrie Francis. The guy died in 1966. We are still talking about him. But there are many people who even died 10 years ago. Nobody is talking about them. Because the impact they make. So you don't make impact because you have children, because you are married. You make impact because of the people who have been affected by your life. And it's important to understand that I believe that's the meaning when Isaiah is saying, many are the children of the barren. In other words, many are the children of the people. So if you are called to singlehood, is to be productive, you certainly are going to have an impact and will remember you all the days of your life. But thirdly, it's important to understand that people who are single have the right to fellowship with the people, more people. Once you are husband and wife, you spend a lot of time together, and that's what the scripture says you do. Nothing wrong with that. You cannot be available to others. When you are single, it means you can visit Nganga, then visit Ngenge, then visit Kuku. You can visit all of them. In the end, you have variety in your fellowship. Now, you know, they say the most lonely women are married women. which is a very unfortunate thing. Studies show the most lonely women are married women. Before they were married, they were available, they could talk to their girlfriends, they were everywhere enjoying life. They get married, and the man says, why are you leaving me? Stay here. We are okay. Now, then the man starts moving, and if the wife tries to move, he says, no, what kind of a wife are you? Why are you moving? I normally call such men a dog in a manger. You know, can you imagine? A manger is a place where cows eat food. And the dogs don't eat cow food. But every time the cows try to come, the dog goes, boom, boom, and frightens the cows away. It will not eat the food. It will not allow the cows to eat. And you have husbands who are dog in a manger. They will not be the companion the wife needs, yet they will not allow the wife to look for companions. My friend, single people don't have that problem. If you want to see me, I will see so and so. If you're that one, if I've enjoyed seeing that one, I can see the other one. It means we sometimes want to look at single people as lonely. But if they are clear that God has called them to that private space, then they can make approaches elsewhere. There will be enough ability to be at peace. You know, if a single person decides they have the money, and they decide they want to go to Papua New Guinea, they just book a flight and fly. If you're married, try. It will be a long negotiation. Somebody will debate, do you have the money? If we do, is that a priority? Even if it's a priority, is it the right time? Why are you living without me? Why didn't you consult me? The trip is gone. When you are single, you have that freedom to go where you feel is the right place to go, and when you are married. And some of those are some of the things in Africa we don't tell single people. So they keep thinking, wow, so-and-so got married, how lucky. They are not aware that there are certain benefits of being married, but there are certain challenges that will become with it. There are certain advantages of being single, but of course there are also challenges that go with it. None of the two is necessarily better than the other. The important thing is, what is your calling? So if you are single, you have that freedom. But I think the biggest freedom you have is ability to make decisions quickly. You know, the dictatorship is the fastest method of government. Now, once when you are on your own, you are an adult, you are not under your father, you are not under your mother, although you still respect them and honor them. It means you can make quick decisions, and you could very easily end up progressing much better financially and otherwise. There are many advantages we can talk about.
Okay, and how about now, let's talk about the disadvantages of singlehood.
Yes, I already mentioned they are there. Mm-hmm. And the worst of them is when you feel called to marriage and nobody is showing up. It's a very good, because there is an inner void that is telling you, I am supposed to be married, now I'm 40, nobody has even been tempted to propose. What's wrong with me? Why has God forgotten me? To me, that's a big disadvantage of singlehood. But that's not for everyone. That's for people who are convinced they should be married and are not married. And a word for them is, you need to understand there is no particular age for marriage. So if you are single temporarily, you are single but you believe one day you'll be married, just accept. You need to know your times. The Bible says, my times are in God's hands. So you need to be a kind of a single person who knows one day I'm getting married, but is waiting for God's timing. You are available, but you are not somebody's doormat. If you look desperate to get married, women will play games with you. Because I'm talking about a man who looks desperate. Every woman will try to come and show friendship, take up your money, then dump you like a used towel. I mean, it's important to understand that God's timing is the best. I keep saying, what time is the right time for marriage? We don't know. If you want to be married for 50 years, your prayer is that you will be married 50 years. If you marry at 20, then you die at 70. If you marry at 30, you die at 80. If you marry at 40, you die at 90. Somebody like our former Attorney General married around 50. We thought you'd never marry. He married at 50. Now he's almost 50 years married. So now, if he is about 50 years married, those who had married at 20 have died at 70, married even less than him. So you need to kill that idea of thinking there is a particular age for marriage. There's a particular age for childbearing. That's a different topic from the one of getting married. You can be married at 50 and enjoy your marriage. And you could even last. For example, if you marry at 50 and you are dying at 100, surely you will have been married for 50 years. So that particular disadvantage of wanting to be married, you are not yet married, should be sorted out by understanding our times are in God's hands. And get convinced that at the right time, God will act. That's the first thing. That, and to me, that's the most frustrating thing. The second issue is lack of somebody to make decisions with. You know, when you marry, it means both of you have something at stake in the decision you are making. If you are single, you are single and you come to me, I give you advice. If the advice backfires, it doesn't affect me. It affects you alone. There's a big difference between advising someone when you are going to affect you and advising someone who doesn't. So when you are single, you have the possibility, even your own father will not be affected by the advice he gives you. Even your own mother will not be affected. So you need to understand marriage gives you an opportunity for somebody else to have a stake in your life. Just like the negative part is the person who interferes with your life, but you are going the same direction. But single people do not have that advantage of somebody they can. And when they try to have somebody else as a partner, they could easily end up to be sin. So you need to be careful. Once you are single, you need to be careful. You still can relate with the people, but you need to create boundaries. And those boundaries are boundaries that are also putting the person away from you. So you have a challenge. So single people have that problem of not getting somebody who can help them to make decisions.
Okay, and as we wind up, what are the challenges of singlehood?
Now, we have talked about several problems of singlehood and several advantages of singlehood. As we go towards concluding, I think it's important to balance out on both. We have said that when you are single, you are likely to you are likely to be productive, to make an impact. Number two, you have the freedom that people are not interfering. But the biggest challenge of singlehood is knowing how to relate with the people without being misunderstood. You talk to somebody's husband, and they start imagining that you want their husband. Whereas you are just a friend. And that misunderstanding is an issue that sometimes makes single people go into a cocoon. I am single, I go visiting the widow of a friend of mine who died. Now, if I go and have no idea, people start thinking I'm trying to get them to marry her. And I'm not interested in marrying her. I was only trying to encourage her. So that misunderstanding is not as bad. It can still be there, but it's not as bad when you're talking about married people. And to me, that's a challenge that we need to deal with. So, single people, if God has called you to singlehood, you have a happy life to your 100 years. If they are called you to marriage, go to marriage. But don't try to be married when you are called to singlehood. And don't refuse to get married if you are called to marriage. The important thing is, what do you think God is calling you? If He has called you to marriage and has not given you somebody to marry, wait on Him. In the meanwhile, enjoy the freedom. There are so many advantages of being single. You lose all of them the day you are married. So enjoy your singlehood.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nganga. We've come to the end of our program tonight. We'll be discussing singlehood. We've seen the advantages and the disadvantages of singlehood. Till next time, I'm your host, Mercy Carey. God bless.